What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. I'm JC.
I'm Brittany.
And you're listening to
Just Breathing Home Edition.
Woo! So when this episode is coming out, it is the new year. So happy New Year. And I'm excited. I've been saying for a while that I didn't think 2020 was that bad. I've been saying for a while that 2021 is going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care what happens in the world. I don't really want to talk about that tonight.
That's not true, but okay.
I mean, I do care about what's going on in the world, but I think the world is so dependent on the people in it.
Right.
So I gotta change my focus and really start to think about what I can do personally and what I can do for other people around me. Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. So I'm drinking this like bubbly water, you know?
Yeah.
And I just this is probably too much information, but I just like burped and I was trying to hold it back and then it like burned up my nose. And I'm like trying to act normal, but I just couldn't because it was like burning up my nose. So then I started laughing. So
well, that teaches you to stop drinking that nasty water.
It's good.
Drink regular water.
Well, no
side effects.
I wanted to change. So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you because I know you were saying something serious, but I had burning up my nose.
Not really. Not really. Just trying to start this conversation. No, but I want to talk about going into this new year. I thought it would be cool if we talked about goals. I thought it would be cool if we talked about aspirations, dreams. I just noticed Brahms balloons are still hanging up. That's our New Year's decorations for the set, for our home edition set.
This is the home edition. That's like a little cherry on top for home edition.
Yeah. If that's not home, I don't know what is. Balloons from
that aren't even fully inflated. They're
balloons
like
from December, 9th? Maybe a little after.
No, I think they did bring it on the 9th.
Did they bring it on the 9th?
So it was from the 9th.
Yeah. So almost a month now. They've been sitting in our home.
Yeah.
They're doing pretty good, though.
They are those kind do great.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's what I thought we would talk about tonight. Maybe get into some of the other stuff that we've talked about on the last podcast, talking about how we're going to plan, how we're going to accomplish those things.
Yeah.
What, like you mentioned, before we started this, what ways does fear, I think we actually talked about this in the
2 episodes ago.
Yeah. How fear kind of crushes creativity. So yeah, I want to get into a lot of that because I want 2021 to be the best year for people.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a year that's kind of written off or forgotten. I feel like I've had so many years that I just forget because I didn't accomplish anything.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some small things that I should have celebrated, but I know personally that I didn't really get anywhere.
Right.
I didn't get anywhere in my physical health. I didn't get anywhere musically. I didn't get anywhere, with this podcast. Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't until this year that we started this podcast.
Yeah. I
had been wanting to start a podcast for several years.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it was that many years, but yeah, you're right. You had been talking about it for a while.
It was an idea. It was a thing that I thought maybe we could supplement with the music, and things like that. And it was a cool idea. But really deep down, I wanted to do it. I was afraid.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start there because I think if we can't get past the fear of doing the things that we talk about, doing the, trying to accomplish goals, trying to motivate ourselves to do things in our life, if fear is standing there,
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah.
Unless that's broken down
Yeah.
in our lives. So
I mean, on that, so I have something that I've been thinking about, like on and off the past few weeks and everything, or months, I guess I should say. But so I've heard people say that, like, if you're not dreaming big, you know, like if if your goal or your dream maybe for your life isn't like kind of scary, then it's probably not big enough. And I don't know how I feel about that, but I've heard different people say that sort of thing, and I struggle with that because having like a big thing is scary. It is scary, and also I always feel like, is it what I should be pursuing,
right.
like, or is that God's will, or is that just my will? But then anyway, with all that said, just recently, I think maybe it was even today, I read in 2 Kings about Hezekiah and how he clung to the Lord and he trusted him fully. And it even said in there that like there was like no other king that like trusted God that much or clung to him in that way. And then right after that, I think it's like a verse later, it says, and the Lord was with him and he prospered wherever he went.
Yeah. And
that really stuck out at me. And I don't know. So my question is it, you know, if you are in the Lord and you're doing everything you feel like he's telling you to do, and there's certain things that you kind of long to do and that, you know, he's gifted you to do, and you want to pursue those, like that is fine, right? Like, or how, I don't know. I'm just like, how much is that fear holding you back, and how much is that just you like not sure and then just doing nothing? I don't know.
I feel like I'm getting like internal struggle coming out now.
That's what happens inside of me, but
yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. Well, let me go back to the first thing that you said. When you've heard in the past, you know, if a dream's not big, it's not worth it, or I don't know how you've heard it.
I think people are like, if you have like a goal in mind and it's just like a little goal,
yeah,
like you should be having like a big goal. That's like the secular view. And then you have like, you know, I guess if the Christian look, like if God has told you to do something and it's not like impossible for you, then it's of you.
Yeah.
But I struggle to know, from my experience, God shows me like little things, like one step at a time kind of views. Maybe he has like a long-term thing that he shows me, but it's more like, I don't know how to accomplish that, but he'll give me like little steps and I can do the little ones like by holding his hand, you know, but I feel like even if he showed me the big thing, that wouldn't be faith, one, because then I would be able to do it in myself. I would try to pursue it myself. And then second, I would just be scared and I'd run away anyway. So
yeah, I think God does take us through small steps, but I think that's preparation for the times that we can't make that leap ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we can get from this stepping stone to this stepping stone, but there's this gap that a goal that we know we're supposed to accomplish, or a place we're supposed to go, or a people we're supposed to talk to and minister to, or whatever,
right, that
we can't get there
without first going through those other steps.
Not even that. I honestly think a lot of those steps, we're being strengthened. Maybe we're being renewed. Maybe we're being built up for that time. But I feel like that building time is for trust, which I think is, you know, especially for a Christian, is the biggest weapon against fear.
Well, yeah.
You know, so when we get to that point and we have to, I'm even like wearing like, you know, faith over fear.
Yeah.
when we have to get to that point where we have to choose faith over fear, the only way that we choose faith is from those building blocks that helped us trust God enough.
Right, because those are little steps of faith.
I trust you now with the big leap.
Right.
And then we're able to get over that hurdle of fear and go and accomplish the big things that maybe, he had a long-term vision for, but we had to take those small steps because he knows when we're ready to actually take the leap.
Right.
And that's something I struggle with. I mean, I'm all for the leap.
Yeah.
I'm like, take me to the leap, take me to the cliff, take me to the precipice, take me to the mountaintop and I'll throw myself off.
You're so different than me.
I might, he might be like, yeah, that wasn't my mountain.
Yeah.
And I'm just falling down. But that's my personality.
Yeah.
Your personality, and I think God leads dependent on our personalities.
Right.
He knows us better than we know ourselves.
Yeah.
So he knows exactly how he's supposed to build up that trust between us and him.
Right.
So I think that is the sort of missing glue in statements like, if you don't have an impossible vision for your life, it's not faith. I think that's it. I think we are supposed to dream, but also know that God's going to lead us every step of the way, like you said, to get us to where we can do the impossible.
Right. And I wouldn't say it's not. I don't think when people say it, they say it's not faith. I think they're saying it's not of God. Like if it's.
Well, anything that's.
Like if you're trying to do if you're doing something for the Lord that you've kind of made up and you can do on your own, that's where it's not faith.
Right.
But when God is.
And that it's not of God, though.
Right. Then it's not of God. Right.
So I think. Right.
I guess the thing I struggle with is like. I feel like I can know that the little steps are of God.
Yeah.
But like certain big things that aren't really, it's not really a step. It's not a leap. It's just like something that I would have to work towards. But I'm like, is that something that God is telling me to do? But then I go back to things like what I read in 2 Kings, where it says that God was with Hezekiah and he prospered wherever he went. Makes me think, okay, I know that I'm being obedient in the things that I know you've put in front of me. And so if I continue to pursue certain things that I know are not like, they're still glorifying to you, like, I guess I'll just trust him to do with it as he pleases. I don't know. Yeah. And then whatever the outcome is glorifying to him. I guess that there's just so many, like you talk about goals in the new year. There's so many things that a person could do. Like there's so many things that I could do and so many things that like I need to do. I'm like, how much effort do I put in all these different places? Like that's something that I guess you can't know. You just pray and work it out as you live. But because you only have so much time and energy and there's so many things, at least for me, like I feel like there's so many things that I need to, that I want to pour into and that I need to pour into.
Yeah.
It's hard to know how to divide your time and your efforts.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating because, like I said, my personality, I want to be on the mountaintop now. I want to be able to make that leap to do the impossible, to do big, to do awesome now.
Right.
So when I don't get there, my personality has like a natural, I don't know the right word, affinity to depression. My personality has a really strong relationship with depression.
Yeah.
When I'm not getting to those places fast enough, I look at it as a reflection on me. And, it's so easy to drift into depression.
Right.
Things aren't going my way. They never will. Life sucks. I'm just going to lay in bed.
Right. Right.
But it's interesting because with your personality, I can see that it's a struggle of a different kind. You're more practical. You're more, how are we going to work this out? I don't even care about the details. You know what I mean? I just want to get there.
Right.
I believe in myself enough that I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Right.
And then let's just get there. Let's just get there.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. But you really are, and I think this is, everything's a strength.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at it as a strength.
Right.
And we believe in ourselves that the way that God made us, it is a strength for accomplishing the goals that he already has envisioned us to accomplish.
Right.
So once we find them, we're the perfect person to accomplish that thing.
Right.
So one, we got to give ourselves a break in that way.
Oh, yeah.
You know, whatever we come up with, like, we don't have to berate ourselves and be like, yeah, you're probably not going to do this because of you.
Right.
Like, no.
That's not, yeah.
If the goal has come to your mind and it's a passion of yours and it's something that you're like, I really think this is it, you are the perfect person for that.
Right. Right.
Because God made you that way. So I don't always believe that. I'm saying this and it sounds really good. I don't always believe that. That's why I just said, when I'm not getting there,
right.
I'm depressed.
Yeah.
But I think that's the mindset that we should have. But going back to your personality, you know, like, you're more practical, you're more trying to figure out the details of how am I going to accomplish these goals. And I think that's perfect because that's how God is going to lead you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like God sometimes just leads me slowly along the path. Almost, I just picture God like, just because I'm so like amped up to want to get there. Like, I feel like I'm in this weird, like, dazed out state, and I'm just like, he's like dragging me by like the arm. And I'm just kind of like laying on the ground, like, let's go. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah. And he's just like, all right, let's go. Come on. And he's just dragging me on the path, like up the hill or something.
Yeah.
That's
really great.
Whereas like you,
God has a blindfold over my eyes.
No.
And he's leading me by the hand, and I'm like,
No. I don't think he has a blindfold. I picture him leading you to like destinations, like saying, all right, Brittany, we're gonna get over here. We're gonna go over here now
for the 5th time.
Yeah, and he leads you over here, and you're like, right.
Are you sure, God?
Yeah. And then you make it, and you're like, wow, I made it. You know, and but that's the perfect way that you need to get to that place.
Right.
You know, we all need to get to that place. And we're going to get there in different ways, but we need to trust.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We need to trust that, you know, if we have God in our lives, that God is going to be there with us through every step, you know, through every hurdle, through every difficulty, through every struggle, through every failure, which is guaranteed too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of fear is really grown out of doubt, you know, from failures, from people saying things, you know, which also I think just comes down to doubt. I think that's what fear is birthed out of, because then when you try to go again, all what people have said to you, all the naysayers come back to your mind, all of the past failures that you know intimately because you had to go through them comes flooding back into your mind, and you're like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't do this, you know? And so many things come out of that. So many things from what I was saying before about you're enough, feelings of unworthiness come out of that. And that's a lie, you know? So it's hard.
There's so many things
it's
that come
hard,
with fear. Like,
but I think knowing that God is there on the journey, knowing that there is a journey, you know, that really, I have to, like I said, with my personality, I have to remind myself that I'm on a journey every single day.
Right.
Because I will immediately go into depression. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing this podcast, and like, I don't have thousands of people listening to this podcast.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah.
You know, I have to believe that maybe one day that's the goal. Maybe
Right.
that's the move, down the road. But right now that's not happening.
Mhm.
And if I just allow myself to say, well, what am I doing?
Right.
Why am I even doing this?
Right.
This is done.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll just go watch TV. I'll go on YouTube.
Be miserable.
And I'll be miserable.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'll fill my life with other stuff.
Right.
I'll fill my life with other, stimulations, but like, I'm going to feel like crap.
Right.
Because I'm not going for the big. I'm not going for the awesome,
So something I wanted to say that I've been thinking about, and it kind of goes along with that is, because something I struggle with, it's a little bit different than that, but this on the same line is every day I'm just kind of like, okay, like I'm trusting the Lord to do his will and be glorified through my life, even though it feels kind of lame.
Yeah.
But so God's been pointing out the story of Mary since we just had Jesus's birth, and then Jesus's life as well. So what I want to point out here is that Mary looks just pretty ordinary.
Yeah.
To most
Everybody.
to this day, really. Yeah. She was just a young girl that, now this isn't ordinary, but God put Jesus in her and she was a virgin. But to everyone else around her, like she had that experience with the angel. Joseph knew it. Everyone else didn't really. Yeah. So now she's just this like, little Jewish girl that's pregnant before she gets married to her husband, which looks really bad. Yeah. And then she has this baby, which people are probably like, you're crazy that you think your baby is the son of God. They're probably like, you're insane, whatever, like an outcast. So she lives her whole life with Jesus, Jesus gets killed. Mm-hmm. And then she keeps living her life. Now she does get to see him rise again, which is pretty awesome. Or at least I'm guessing God, it doesn't say in the Bible if he saw her, but we know that he like showed himself to a lot of people. But anyway, so her whole life is kind of like, it doesn't look that glamorous, She's just a girl living, and it's pretty awesome that she had the Son of God, Jesus, but to everyone else, it doesn't really look that way. And then Jesus's life was also not glamorous.
No.
Yes, he was the Son of God, which is amazing, but to everyone else, he just looked like another guy
that
ends up getting crucified.
Yeah.
That stinks.
Yeah.
And then he rises again, which is awesome, and he goes to heaven. But you're like, okay, so let's not get carried away here. Like, God is using, and there's a lot of people like that in the Bible. Those are just two examples. Mm-hmm. But like, I think as Christians, or at least for me, a lot of times I'm looking at the people like Elijah and the people that like, did like crazy things. But and Jesus did crazy things too. But even those people had like their whole life in between that was pretty ordinary. Yeah. Just a life of faith.
Right.
That looks ordinary. And so what I'm getting at with all this is like, we have to trust as we're obedient and faithful to the Lord. This is what I tell myself all the time, is that God is using us.
Yeah.
God's being glorified. If he wants something done by us, he's going to put it in front of us and it's going to get done. So like, I need to chill out. And just trust and be obedient.
Right.
Like, that's all I can do. I'm already doing everything that I can do.
Yeah.
And when I mess up, I repent. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
And so I always comfort myself with that, especially as like we go into the new year. Cause like I said before, I have so many things that I want to do and I want to be working on. And I just have to trust God that he's going to be glorified in my attempts to be faithful to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. I think that's the questions that a lot of people have. What are my goals supposed to look like? I think like I struggle with that sometimes. It's like, okay, I have these goals. How do they shine? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But sometimes they don't have to shine.
Right.
Sometimes they're just for you. Sometimes they're just for you and God. Sometimes they're just for you and your wife. Mm-hmm. No one else outside of your home is supposed to even know that goal was accomplished.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And most of the time those goals are the ones that matter, I guess.
Yeah.
But But yeah, we do come into the new year a lot of times looking at goals as a thing for others to see,
Mhm.
and yeah, maybe they just need to be goals that like when we know we've accomplished them, we can be like, yeah,
Right.
and just celebrate. And not have to make it this big thing that like, oh, I turned my physical life around. I'm going to the gym every day now.
Mhm.
Like, because for most people that doesn't happen, and then they're disappointed and depressed and eating ice cream, and you know, that's the normal New Year routine. But let's give ourselves, a break and say, I want this. Make it as general as possible. You don't have to do this. Sometimes I think maybe do we make it too specific? Like I don't want to give like advice. Like I just want to like you just ask questions and be like, I don't know if like our goals too specific sometimes when we make them.
Yeah, I don't know. I
You
feel like it
know?
all depends
Like I
on.
want to go to the gym. Why the gym?
Right.
I stopped going to the gym and I've worked out more
Yeah.
than I've worked out in my entire life.
Yeah.
So like I didn't need the gym.
Yeah.
I thought I did,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't. Maybe we need to just say, I want to work out more.
Right.
And then make little decisions. Like I've made little choices on how I'm going to remind myself to work out, how I'm going to motivate myself to work out. All these little things that led to just the overarching goal of work out more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It all depends, I guess, on your personality and.
Yeah, and what you're trying to accomplish, I guess. Yeah. Let's just go into like, what are some things that you want to accomplish this year?
Oh my goodness.
Now this really is coming from the last episode. I told you I'd be back.
Yeah. I mean,
Why don't you have goals, Britt? Why don't you have goals? No, but in light of what we've been talking about, that they don't need to be big right now, or they don't even need to be specific right now. Right. What do you want to do more of this year?
I mean, I guess the first one that comes to mind is because I'll just say the first thing that comes to mind. Because there's a lot of things that come to mind.
That's good. So you have tons of things.
No, but it's
all right,
like
first thing.
Okay, first thing. I definitely want to do. I want to do music more. Like I want to share the songs that I feel like I've been blessed with other people.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that I kind of like wrestle with God about because I love to worship Him. I love to write music. Yeah. And I want to share it with people, but I don't really know how. I don't know what that looks like. So I'm just going to take one step at a time because that's how I go. That's how I move.
Exactly.
And then I'll see, what happens next.
Yeah. All right. More music. That's good. And there's so many ways too. That's the thing. Like, have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do different things. Don't be consistent in some things. Try new things. I should say. I was gonna say just do different things, but that's not really the advice. Be consistent in some things that matter, and then try new things to change things up. To do something that's gonna get you out of, a rut or get you out of a I don't know, what do they call it? Like an OODA loop, where you're just kind of thinking about the same things and wondering why they're not working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't get out of your own way sometimes. And like, once you do something new, brush your teeth with, I brush my teeth with my left hand, but brush your teeth with your right hand, and change things up. It helps. So yeah, I think there are going to be so many ways for you to do more music.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
Loud in lungs.
Yeah.
This is home edition, but I still got that sign because I paid for it. It's pretty.
It's a nice sign.
It's a nice sign. Yeah. All right, cool. Give me another one.
Okay. Um, so I don't know if you call these things goals, but like,
We'll find out.
okay. So, oh my goodness, I hate this. I'm so bad at this. I guess the things that I'm like, I want to work on
Okay.
is like, I want to work on being a better parent.
Okay.
Yeah, I need work on that. I need work on, I want to work on
big club.
Like I want to be more informed and like
world informed.
No. Well, yeah, that would be helpful. But I'm talking about within free, like for free. Like I want to be more informed about like.
Say what free is if people don't know.
So free is a nonprofit organization that we raise awareness for how to. Now I'm losing my words. Now I'm on the spot.
I know what you. Yeah.
We raise awareness about what human trafficking is to try to stop it. We educate youth groups and churches and just the community. We also like. I'm all nervous now that I'm talking about free. I'm literally sweating.
You're a spokesperson for it.
I'm not. Andrea is.
Yeah. No, but you volunteer with this organization. You're in leadership.
Yes.
You help out with all of their events to raise money because they're building a
restorative care. We do restorative care. That's actually like our first pillar.
Okay.
So yeah, I want to, as you can see, I'm not good talking about it. I want to be more informed just for myself.
Yeah.
I help behind the scenes, so you don't have to hear me speak, thank goodness. But yeah, I want to be more informed about that so that I can like help as much as I can there. Yeah. So that's one of my goals. And then we're doing something called Riverview Groups at our church. And so I just want to be better at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are probably the things that come to my mind.
I think those are great goals.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about the free thing? You're like, obviously I shouldn't be speaking. You've read enough of the Bible and you've read enough of stories of people, missionaries and different people throughout church history and stuff. That's where God's going to place you, right?
Oh, Lord, no.
Like, you know that though. Like,
can we take that out? Like, we'll just
maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe this is going to be like too much fear. It's just going to shut down your goals. But like, I know that when, like you're saying, you want to focus more on it and be more informed about it and
right.
and things like that. I think those are the baby steps into leading you into doing more talking. I know you don't think that
only
now.
When God
I know you don't think that now, but God has an amazing sense of humor. And like, well, just take this for example. So I lead the music at my church, and I've led now for at least 10 years, I think. Probably 10 years, like from when I have been in leadership doing it. Before that time, and before we even moved to Reading, Pennsylvania, I had never sung in front of people. No, that's not true. I did once. I did like one special at a church. I sang "You Raise Me Up."
Oh my goodness!
With a couple other like kids, and stuff. That's a good song.
That is a good song.
But yeah, other than that, I never sang. And then
that's crazy.
And then,
but
just
even
little things
not
happened.
In front of people though. Like you sang like in your room alone.
Not really.
What?
Nope. I never really had a passion for that. I never
weird.
Really.
I did not know that about you. Actually,
I thought I loved music. Like I was always listening to music.
Okay.
But like, honestly, like right around the time that I moved up here, like through high school, and then the time that I moved up here, like I was into metal music. Like I was into a lot of different stuff. I listened to some church music, but it was little steps, little things, like, oh, well, we're trying to get a band together for the church music. All right, I'll play bass. Like I knew bass at that time. And then, I think like the keyboardist dropped off at some point.
Yeah, one Sunday you said no one was there, right?
Well, that's what it ultimately led to. Yeah, there was like little times that I would play and sing background, vocalist stuff. But I was saying so quietly. I was terrified of the mic. Terrified of the mic. Now I use microphones all the time.
Right.
I'm so used to them. But like I was terrified of it. And then that one Sunday I came to church and no one was there. And I get a text from the main music guy at that time, and he was sick, couldn't come in. And then the other guy that was kind of like the backup lead, other vocalist basically. He was sick, couldn't be there. So I'm left alone.
God had a plan.
And my dad is like, oh, do you want us to, just get the organist or something? We'll just do hymns, like old school. We'll go old school today. And I'm like, no, I got this. And I did not have that. I had no idea what I was doing, but like for some reason I had enough trust that God was going to get me through that Sunday.
Wow.
I don't even know why, because I'd never led anything.
Right.
I'd never led a song. I had never led anything.
Right.
And I made it through. And then,
awesome.
And then after that point, the confidence just grew.
That's awesome.
The confidence just grew, and it needed to grow because different people left, different people came. We had some people that were not right for that ministry, and just a lot of stuff happened that eventually, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Eventually like the main guy that was there, got another job and he moved away. So then that slot's open and I'm like, well, I naturally just was like, I'll take it.
Right.
And
you do a great job.
Yeah. And I was confident enough by that time, God knew exactly when to kind of thrust me into it.
Yeah.
So that my confidence could build. So when the day came, I was like, I got this.
Yeah.
And that's probably what he's going to do with free.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So we got more music, being more informed with free, in fighting human trafficking, and better parenting.
Yes.
We can all work on that, including myself. What else? What was the last thing was...
Well, the music one.
I already said the music first.
Oh.
What was the last thing?
So you said music,
free parenting,
Riverview groups.
Yeah, I think that's a lot for 2021.
Yeah.
Bringing it back down to tangible starting points. That's where you need to start.
Right. And
then once you can and say, I could do this every day. Those are the types of things that you should be doing consistently, and then maybe add in some things that you should be doing every day. Those are the things that you should be doing consistently.
Right. Not
that you have to do them every day, but finding those tangibles.
Right.
In the big.
Yeah.
These are big goals. It's a lot of information out there about human trafficking. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of stuff to learn and do with music. There's a lot of stuff, in coordinating groups, groups of people and stuff. Right. You're really good at that though. So that one won't be too much of a problem. But yeah, find those consistent things.
Yeah.
And just start doing those. And you'll get closer to those goals.
Right.
We'll look back in 2022 and be like, whoa.
Right.
That's going to be cool. And now I know those. So I know how to encourage you.
Right. Right.
And that's the beauty of saying your goals. What do you want to do? Now you have people who are going to say, I want you to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the key. Surround yourself too with people. That's a huge combatant against fear, is surrounding yourself with not naysayers. Get them out of your life.
Right. Right.
If people aren't for you and people want to discourage you from doing the things that you want to do, unless you're an idiot and you want to do dumb things, then they might be right. But
then they're trying to help you out.
But if you have goals and you really feel like that's the direction you should be going, don't let anybody tell you differently.
Right.
Figure out a way to do those things. And if they're in your family, oh well.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Just don't listen to them.
No, I mean your goals and what you're supposed to do with your life is bigger than your family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a hard thing for some people.
Yeah.
But I've definitely learned that. Any negative people we don't associate with.
Yeah.
In our family.
So
that's not negative. That's healthy.
Right. Right.
You want to be healthy during this time to accomplish your goals.
Right.
So
what are your goals?
All right. First goal, since we're doing a podcast right now, first goal is to increase viewership for these two podcasts. I want to do these home editions once a week. I want to do Just Breathing with Laud and Lungs, which is more interview style, have a lot of new guests on and stuff like that. I want to do that once a week. So at least 2 podcasts being released once a week. I want to do more music.
Yay.
Well, I guess let me stick with the podcast. So I want to do those 2 consistently. And I want to, through word of mouth, through whatever means I learn about, I want to continue to grow the viewership, and I want to get more people involved in this community.
Yeah.
So I want to figure that out this year. We've talked about that in past episodes about wanting this to be more than just a podcast. We want this to be a community where people can engage, where people can give their input and I give my input on their input.
Right.
And because that's my favorite. That's one of the things that's really been a draw for me to YouTube. Like I really never was a huge YouTube person.
Right.
I was always a podcast person. But what YouTube brings is just another dimension to podcasts in terms of the chat section.
Okay. So can a podcast be like live and then you chat? I didn't know you could do that.
At our stage, yes. There was some issues. I know when the Joe Rogan Experience, when he was doing his podcast live.
Oh, wow. So
he was streaming them. He was like, here we are, we're live, blah, blah, blah. It had a cool feeling to it. Right. And they still record that way, just to kind of keep it more natural. Right. But it doesn't, it comes out, it comes out the next day.
Okay.
Because people were, while it was live, they were recording it and putting out clips. So a huge thing on YouTube is to take your long form videos and chop them up and then put them out in shorter clips so that people can digest them easier. Okay. So that's like a huge thing that every video podcast person, except us, are doing to just get more views. And then eventually, like in the description section, everybody has links to the full video. So people are like, oh, I'm digging this. Right. They can go to the full video and watch that. Okay. But with his clips are really popular on YouTube. Right. But people were recording his live stream and getting clips out faster than he could get clips out of his own show.
So they're like making money off of him?
Yeah, and then you're constantly fighting people and saying, that's mine, take it down,
goodness.
Getting people's videos deleted.
That's exhausting.
Yeah. So with his viewership, they had to stop doing that. But yeah, we can do it. I mean, that's what, who's the guy that we listen to? Timcast IRL.
I didn't know those were podcasts. I thought that was just like a YouTube.
Oh no,
show.
yeah, no, they're recording it for a audio podcast.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's live. It'll just come out in audio form and people can listen to it.
Right. But they're live when they're doing it.
They're live when they're doing it. And then on YouTube, it's a live chat. So people are sending in questions or super chats and they can see that in real time. Maybe with 20-second delay or something.
Right.
And that's cool because then you can respond directly back to people.
Right.
That's a huge draw for why I really like YouTube. And I think there's going to be more ways. I've talked in the past about locals. I'm going to look into that more and see if we could try and build a community on locals.
Right.
I'm just so terrible at social media.
Oh, you're better than me. You're better than me.
That is true. That is true.
Oh.
I go on.
Yeah, you go on it. That's good. That's a start.
But yeah, that one you have to kind of keep up with. You have to be putting out, more content for people that want to be in your community there. And I want to do that eventually, but that's just, it's a lot more work right now. So one day I want to get there. But for 2021, yeah, that's my podcast goals. Keep working on these, increase viewership, get more people into the listening body. And then with the music side, I mean, honestly, you're the music person right now. Like just in terms of your passion and the way that you write. I mean, everybody in Lauded Lungs have just been like, yeah, Britt's our songwriter. Just because you write so much.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a gem in there, after 4 in a week, there's something in there. But it's awesome. And I want to just be better at mixing, better at coordinating people to record different instruments, just so we can kind of really start to get out music. I guess if there's anything that I've been disappointed at in 2020 is that we haven't gotten anything out this year.
I know. I'm disappointed too.
Yeah. And we have goals. We have songs that we are working on.
Right.
We have a couple songs in production right now.
Right.
But, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in 2021.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make this year so much better.
Right.
We're going to get a lot of songs out
right.
this year.
God willing. God willing.
No, we're going to get a lot of songs out this year. Yeah. No negativity.
That's not negativity. I'm just saying.
Well, don't just say.
When I've there have been times where I've been like, this is happening. And then something very unexpected happened and it couldn't happen. And then I was like, okay.
This year has been a weird year. Yeah. I don't think 2020 is as bad a year as everyone wants me to say it is. Right. And everyone believes it is. It's been a weird year. It's been a strange year. So I'll give them that. And it's definitely prevented us from doing things to the extent that we've wanted to. But not going to stop me in 2021.
Not let it discourage us.
Yeah, we're going to go for it. So podcast, increase music production, really getting that out there. I don't really have any other goals musically than that. Just I want to get some more content out there so people can start to hear our sound, start to get to know how our music feels and our writing and stuff like that. Because I'm actually really excited to see. I'm not kidding. I joke about your writing and writing so much, but you do write so much, and your melodies. I'm a stickler for melodies. I'm a stickler. I'll listen to Spotify and a lot of the, not the release radar, but when they give you suggestions of new bands or new songs that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
I'll listen through those and I'll be like, crap. Like, why is our music not out there? Because this is trash. You know, sometimes there's some good stuff that I find, but I know what's good and what's not.
Yeah.
And what you write is awesome.
That's cool.
You know, the melodies that you come up with, I'm like, that is an original melody.
Yeah.
I've heard 1,000 melodies that sound exactly the same on Spotify.
Yeah.
And it annoys the crap out of me. But you do things with your voice, and just it's almost funny because your lack of ability right now on guitar sort of well, no. I'm not saying that in a negative way.
No,
You're learning guitar.
Yeah.
But it constrains you, but also brings in this weird new way of playing guitar. You know, that like I don't play like you. You know,
that's because I'm making do with the few chords I know.
Well, and you
I don't know how to strum yet.
Yeah, you do a weird strum. So, but it gives songs a different rhythm than I wouldn't write.
Right.
And it's cool. And so I really want to start to get to those songs out there. Yeah. I guess other goals physically, I just want to continue working on myself. I want to do new things. You know, that's what I was saying about trying new things. What has kept me going working out this year has been not doing the same thing.
Right.
Ever. You know, like I love 30-day plans.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the one workout thing, if you ever just look at my story, I post it all the time and stuff, but the one app, what is it called? Home workouts?
Yeah, I think it's called Home Workouts.
Yeah.
I should know by all the times that I look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been super helpful. Just because it has so many different plans and different things like that. But like I was telling you earlier today, like I'm looking at a kettlebell now. Mm-hmm. You know, I've done a lot of body weight workouts. I've done a lot of dumbbell workouts. I'm like, kettlebell looks cool. You know, I see a lot of people using it. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So let's change it up. Let's do kettlebell workouts now.
Right.
Maybe let's do both.
Right.
I don't know. I have no idea. But let's do something new, and that excites me.
Yeah.
So I just want to continue doing that in 2021. Just keep doing new stuff with my physical health.
You've been doing good too. You're like super consistent.
Yeah.
With working out.
Yeah.
So that's good. So it's working. Doing new stuff is working.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard though. I do want to say, like, it's not easy to stay consistent with these things. That's why you got to have people to motivate you and people to encourage you and say, you're a great songwriter, and you to say, yeah, you've been doing great working out.
Right.
You know, that enlivens me to keep doing that.
Yeah.
But I mean, even today, like I just felt like crap earlier in the day. And that I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's my celiac disease and maybe I'm getting like, I have no idea. I have no idea. Just some mornings I wake up and my neck's sore and just, you know, I just feel like my muscles are just kind of tired and tight and I just feel like crap.
Yeah.
But after work, you know, it took me all the way till after work today.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. And having the app, I just put it on and it's telling me what to do. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. It told me to do it. I have to do it. You know, and then I got through it and I felt great.
That's so good.
Yeah. Just get through it. Just start, keep going, get through it, do it again.
Yeah.
And then eventually you like the results.
Yeah.
You know, eventually I feel good because I work out.
Right.
Oh, that's another thing. Back to the music. I want to play piano more.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I still dabble in piano. I still can pick it back up pretty quick, like riding a bike, but I definitely don't have my chops.
Yeah.
that I used to have. I want to get those back because I think I'll need them
Yeah.
for some of the stuff that we're doing. And I don't know. I feel like that can be a main instrument for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've kind of like defaulted to acoustic guitar because it's easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to get back into piano.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That's about it. I mean, I don't really
a
have
lot.
any.
That's enough in itself.
Yeah, that's definitely enough to keep me busy. And I'm totally with you in the parenting thing. I want to get better at parenting.
Yeah.
Because our kids are crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I need all the help I can get.
Yes.
In the insane asylum. Yeah. All right. Well, there's a lot more that we can talk about, but we should wrap it up here. We've been talking for a while. We'll talk more about this stuff. I think we could probably talk more about the whole fear and creativity thing. We didn't really delve too deep into that. Yeah, delve into more of the practical stuff on how we're going to start implementing these goals. Maybe we can do that on the next one and just start to be like, all right, let's choose a first thing.
Right.
You know, what thing are we going to start doing and put it on the podcast, and viewers can keep us accountable.
That's true.
When they start to see those things coming out, or it doesn't have to be content, but we can in some way include people in making sure we're doing these things every day.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
That will be fun.
And good for us. So, all right, everybody. So we're going to wrap it up here. Again, Happy New Year. 2021 is going to be the best year yet. It's going to be that way for me. It's going to be that way for Brittany. It's going to be that way for you. And the only way that it's going to be that way is if you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube, or leave us a 5-star review. That is the only way that 2021 really turns out great for you. It's just a fact. So do those things, or all your dreams won't come true. And yeah.
Good thing we have smart people watching this podcast.
That's true. We do. All right, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you enjoy the holidays. I hope you have a wonderful 2021. All right. Bye.
So you gotta smash like, subscribe, click the links down below so I make a time. Comment, say hi, hit the bell so I know I'll see you next time. Next time, next time. So I know I'll see you next time. Next time, next time. So I know I'll see you next time. Next time, next time. So I know I'll see you next time. Next time.